Sight, 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 by sight.
Hello. Hey guys, welcome back to another video. I know I've been gone forever, and I say this every time, so we're gonna skip past all that. But anyway, I'm finally here to do the work from home video for you guys. I know I've been saying I was gonna get this video out forever, but I finally found some time to do it. I'm sitting at my desk in my room right now, so that's why the background looks a little different. But I'm gonna try to make this video, I won't say short because I want to give you guys a lot of information, but I'm gonna try not to make it too long either. So yeah. And if you see me looking down, that's because I got some notes jotted down here because I didn't want to miss anything or whatever. So let's just jump straight into this video. So first, before I do get into this video, please take the time to like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like I told you guys, I'm trying to grow over here, so please take the time now to pause, like the video, or if you don't want to like it, you can like it at the end of the video. Just make sure you like it, but go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Now I can start the video. So first things first, I want to say that I've been doing work from home for about my middle baby's about to be 8, so I've been doing it for about 8 years now. I started work from home when she was about 4 or 5 months old. How I found out about work from home is a cousin of mine was doing it, and I don't want to be naive and say I've never heard of work from home jobs before, but really I didn't, because back during that time, I don't feel like work from home jobs was really popular because this was back in 2015. So I didn't really hear much of work from home. Most of my experience, I mean, I had customer service experience, but most of the work that I did was always, physical at a brick and mortar site. So I had call center work before, but I just never heard of work from home remote work. So I was on maternity leave from Amazon. I had been at Amazon distribution warehouse for about 2 years, and I had just had a baby, and my maternity leave was ending. And as you guys know, if you're not new to my channel, I breastfeed. So she was exclusively breastfed those 4 months that I was out, and it was time for me to go back to work. So that's when I decided, okay, let me go ahead and get my baby used to a sippy cup or a bottle, so that I can go back to work. Well, y'all, she wasn't having it. Like, she did not take the bottle. Like, she just was not having it. I tried Ma'am bottles, Dr. Brown's, Nook, Avent, every bottle under the sun. I tried it. She was not having it. Tried sippy cups. She didn't. Nothing worked. And me as a mom, like, I just couldn't see myself going back to work and knowing that she wasn't taking a bottle, because in my mind, I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to be back to work for 10 hours. My baby going to be home starving. Like, I couldn't do it. So I called my HR, and they pushed my return to work date back, and that gave me a little bit more time to work with her. Still wasn't working. And my cousin was like, well, why don't you try work from home? And I was like, work from home? Like, how do you do that? My baby was turning over. But she was working for a company. Back then it was called Sitel. It's called something else now. I'll jump later into that later down the line. But she was working for Sitel with Starbucks, and she put me on. And like I said, I had customer service experience before, and call center experience, but not a whole lot. Like, I worked at one company in my hometown for like 6 months, and then I worked at another company like 30 minutes away or so, but I didn't last there for long. The drive and the commute back and forth, it was just too much. I think I stayed there for like 6 or 7 months to And those were the only 2 call center jobs that I had. So altogether, I might have had like a little over a year experience. But with this company, they didn't require that you have a lot of work from home experience or a lot of customer service experience. They trained you. So my very first ever work from home job was with Sitel, and it was with Starbucks. And it was a really pretty cool laid back job. Like, we actually had a field trip where we had to go to a local Starbucks near us, order a drink, and take a picture of us at that Starbucks. Like, we literally all paid for by the company. Field trip, like, it was great. The pay, it wasn't that much, but it was doable because, you know, I live in a small town. Cost of living wasn't that bad. I was working from home, so I was saving money from driving back and forth to work, having to pay for lunch or make my lunch. So it did save me a little bit of money. So that's how I got started working from home. So I used that job as a stepping stone. And once I was there for a little bit, I started applying to more jobs or whatever as I got more experience under my belt. So that's how I got started with work from home. Been doing it for, like I said, going on 8 years now. Equipment, home office information. So most jobs nowadays, most companies do provide you with equipment. Sorry about that, had a notification. But there are companies now that do provide you with the equipment. Sitel was one that did provide me with the equipment. But there are some who may want you to have your own equipment. I'm going to tell you guys right now, I know a lot of people are Apple lovers. I'm one myself, but with a lot of work from home jobs, they do not want you to have MacBooks. Sorry, that thing just keep popping up. MacBooks are a no-go in work from home. Now, some companies may allow you to use it. That's fine, but with most jobs, they'll tell you MacBooks, Chromebooks, for some reason you can't use them. A lot of them want you to have your own computer. A lot of them do require that you have a certain amount of RAM and memory and all that stuff. So if you apply to a job where you got to have your own equipment, I suggest looking at the qualifications that your system needs to be. A lot of them will want you to have dual monitors, which means they want you to have 2 computer screens at minimum. Back then, when I first started, some of them were, 14, 16-inch screen was fine. But now, I would suggest starting out, try to have something at least 16 inches or bigger. If the job requires dual monitors, because you're going to be looking at a whole lot on your screen. So you don't want nothing, I would at least say at least 16, 17 inches or better. You don't want a really small screen when you're trying to do work from home. Some of them will require that you have a mouse and keyboard, a wireless headset or a wired headset with a mic on it, and they want you to have one that has a mute button so that you can mute yourself when you're in training and meetings, or be able to mute yourself when you're on the phone with customers. And some of them require that you have webcams if they do, if they require you to be on camera for training. Some may send out the webcam. It just depends on the company. So if you do want to start work from home, just in case you get into a position where it's a company that wants you to have your own computers, I suggest don't go buying anything right off. Like, just wait until after you apply to a few places. But just to get a general idea, most will want you to have your own computer or laptop, no Chromebook, MacBook, keyboard, mouse, USB headset, what else did I mention? And the webcam. Now, some of them that do require that you have your own equipment, some of them will provide you sometimes with, as long as you have a computer, they'll provide the monitors, or they'll go ahead and provide the headset and keyboard and stuff like that for you. So it just all depends on the job. Now, as far as your workspace, all of them, this is like the biggest thing. All of them want you to have a work environment where it's quiet, you have a door that can close, and you're in the privacy of your home. You're not somewhere where people can easily walk in and out, or they can see them on camera, and that's just due to customer privacy. especially if you work in, like me, I work in healthcare, so I have access to people's medical claims and stuff like that. So I definitely don't want to be in a position where someone can just walk by and glance at my screen and somebody's, personal information is there. So if you are working, say, for instance, in your living room or something like that, they prefer that you have a privacy screen, something that you can put up. Now, when I worked for TurboTax a while back, a couple of years back, they actually provided privacy screens for you. So, I mean, they gave them to everybody, even if you were in a privacy, in a secluded area of your home. They did provide everybody with privacy screens to put up. So make sure you're in an area where, when you're in training, if you are in training on camera, they won't see people walking back and forth behind you and stuff like that, or nobody peeking over your shoulder looking at your screen. I suggest being in an area where you can't hear a lot of noise, because some trainers, will get on you about that if they can hear like a lot of people outside talking. Or like me, I live in an apartment complex, so when I first started, that was an issue, because where my room is and where I had my setup at, you can hear like kids outside playing, people, dogs barking, all kind of stuff. So I had to eventually move my office elsewhere in my home. So just be mindful of that type of thing about where you're going to have yourself set up, because outside noise and stuff like that is a big one. They don't want to hear that type of stuff. Now, you do have some companies that are more lenient on that type of stuff, so just be mindful of that. I mean, they know sometimes it's going to happen, because I've been in meetings with my supervisors and stuff, and I'm hearing fire trucks and sirens and all kind of stuff go off. So sometimes it's just inevitable. Like, they're going to hear that stuff sometimes, but just be somewhere where it's not a constant, like they just constantly hearing noise and stuff like that. Resume is another good one. A lot of these companies now want to see stable job history. So like if you have big gaps of employment, I suggest filling those gaps of employment with something on your resume. Say for instance, me, I was out of work for a while after I had my son, so I actually put that on my resume as during my gap of employment. I put out of work due to maternity leave or whatever. I just put the time frame. It fills that gap. So when you're applying for these jobs, they're not having to turn down your application because of a big gap in employment. They'll see why there was a gap. At least if they know why you were out, a lot of them will continue to look at your resume. But that's a big one. They don't like to see big gaps of employment. And the length of employment. I'm not one to say lie on your resume, but make it look good. Like, don't just have on there, like, if a job was really short, I would suggest taking it off. If it was like say for instance, if you're a job hopper, if you've been at this job at the beginning of the year for 3 months, and then you start another job and you were there for 2 months, and then you quit that job and got another one and there for 4 months, like, it doesn't look good on paper, and it doesn't look good to an employer. So I would say scale down your resume if you are someone who has a lot of jobs, or if you can possibly combine that into, I don't want to say into one job, but like try to combine the jobs into one and then list all the skills. Like, try to make it look good. Like, they don't want to see a job hopper. Another thing is, when you're doing these resumes, try to include words on your resume that's customer service related in the skill section. Like, they like to see strong words like great at multitasking, work well with minimal supervision. That's a good one, because when you're working from home, it's not like being at a brick and mortar. It's not no one standing over your shoulder saying, hey, make sure it's about time to clock in, make sure you get yourself ready, or hey, you got X amount of work to do, make sure you're getting this done, or hey, you're taking a long time doing this. I mean, yeah, you are going to have, a team leader, a supervisor, and stuff like that, but it's not the same as being in a brick and mortar place. Like, there's not going to be no one at your house saying, all right, now time for you to get up, it's time for work. Like, you're going to have to make yourself get up, and that can be hard for a lot of people when you work from home, because at home is so many other distractions than being in an actual office setting. Say for instance, you have kids, Okay, your kids can distract you, or you got the TV sitting right here. You can be distracted by TV, or your bed is right there, your couch, and you just want to lay down. You don't feel like getting up for work. It's a lot of things that can distract you from home. So you got to be able to work well with minimal supervision. You got to be a self-starter. You got to be someone that's a go-getter. Like I know, somebody that's actually gonna make yourself get up and go to work, because I've had days like that where, especially on the day it's raining outside, it's gloomy, I'm already tired from the day before, and I'm looking at my bed right across from me. I've had my days like that. Like, it happens. So you got to be a very motivated and strong-willed person to do work from home and make yourself want to get up to work. Another good one they like to see is quick learner. They love people that can catch on easily. So what I would do sometimes is read the qualifications and the skills they're looking for in a person of the job that I'm applying for, and I would like to include those words in my resume. Sometimes that helps with getting your application pulled. If your skills and qualifications match what's on the job, that helps a lot too. I know that was a tip that I learned from someone, to look at what they're looking for in a candidate and add that to your resume to, help make your resume stand out. What else? Oh, another good one. They love to see skills such as very good oral verbal communication, excellent typing skills. Because for one, especially if it's a phone position, you're going to be talking to people. They want someone who speaks very well, has very good communication, someone who can speak effectively and fluently, and I don't want to say fluently in English, because they're obviously English, but they love for people to be able to enunciate and pronounce their words great. Like, some people will actually have you do, when you have your phone interview, mock conversations with people. So like, they'll do like a mock call with you just to see how you talk to people and how you would handle certain situations. So they love to see that you have good oral communication, verbal communication skills. That'd be a great one to add onto your resume as well. Applying for jobs. Okay, so this is a big one. When you apply for these jobs, make sure that you fill out the application completely. Don't skip any sections. Don't forget to do anything, because half-filled applications, they're not even going to pull them. When you're filling these jobs out, make sure that you are adding in email addresses and phone numbers where you can actively be reached, that you actively check, because once they call you or email you about a position, if you don't get back to these recruiters within a certain amount of time, they're going to the next candidate. Like, they're gone. These work from home jobs, these positions fill fast. So please make sure you are adding a contact number and email address that you check often, where you can be reached at when they need to contact you. I would suggest, I created a whole different email address for me for applying for work from home jobs, because I get so many emails that comes to my personal email. I've had it for years. So all kind of subscription messages be coming, Fashion Nova be blowing up my email box, all kind of different store sites and stuff, like all kind of stuff come to my email. I have over 20,000 emails that I haven't even checked yet, because so many emails come there a day. And sometimes I will miss emails from jobs because it be so many, and I just be scrolling through and I be missing them. Sometimes I actually saw a couple that I missed, and recruiters be like, yeah, we sent you an email X amount of days ago, and and we never heard back from you. So if you're like me and have a lot of stuff coming to your personal email, I would suggest creating a new email just specifically for work from home applications, so that you don't miss the notifications. A lot of them, when you apply, some of them will have you do the assessment right then and there. Sometimes they'll email you a link to do the assessment. I suggest taking your time with these assessments. Read the questions carefully, because some of them can be trick questions. And with some of these assessments, they will ask you the same question, but word it differently just to see how you answer it. So make sure you're staying consistent on how you're answering these questions and paying attention to the type of questions they're asking you, because they may ask you that same question 4 different times, 4 different ways and you answered it 4 different ways. So make sure you're paying attention to what they're asking and try to be consistent in your answers, especially with those personality tests, because they'll ask you a question. What's a good one? Like they may ask, I work well under pressure, or I stress under pressure. They may ask you that question 3 times, 3 different ways, and you may answer it differently each time they ask it. So just try to pay attention, because they want to make sure you're being truthful about your personality and how you really are. So they try to switch it up just to see if you're telling the truth or if you're lying. So just be mindful of that. Take your time with these assessments. Make sure you're reading the questions and answering to the best of your ability. A lot of these assessments, they will have, some of them will have sections where they have you to read a sentence back to them. They'll say the sentence out loud to you and want you to read it back just to see how well you can pay attention and how much you can remember just from listening to a conversation, because that plays a lot when you're doing customer service. You're listening to customers and letting them vent to you, and they want to see how well you can listen and reply back. Because a lot of these customers, when you get them on the line or on the phone, they're just talking, because some of them call you and upset. So they want to see how well you can pay attention and listen and grasp what is being said and reiterate it back to them. So I've had assessments where they'll read sentences to you, want you to read it back, or some of them where they'll have statements and they want you to read the statements to them, or some of them they'll actually have you do virtual tryouts. My last couple jobs have been chat positions, so I've had virtual chat tryouts where they'll do chat simulations with you. And one of them I'm gonna let you guys know right now, most chat jobs, you're not just doing one chat. You may start off doing one chat, but eventually they're gonna move you to 2 or 3 chats. Most of my job I've had 2, but I've had some jobs where I had 3. So like I said, being able to type well, multitask, you got to be able to do it. But yeah, I've had simulations where I had to do chats, and it wasn't just one, it was 2 chats at a time, and then it brought on a 3rd one. So these companies will send assessments that matches pretty closely to what you'll be doing, and a lot of the job offers come from doing well in those assessments. So you can have an excellent resume, but sometimes if you don't do good on those assessments or those virtual tryouts, on to the next candidate. So take your time, like pay attention to what you're doing on those assessments. Interviewing is another one. So I don't know if a lot of you guys are like me. I'm not a good interviewer. To say I've been doing work from home for so long, I am not a good interviewer. I get nervous. My hands start to sweat. I don't know what it is. I just don't like interviewing. I don't. I'm surprised every time when I get a job, because I feel like I failed the interview, and that's just me personally. Like, my resume is good, my job history is good, skills, all that good, but I'm a bad interviewer. Let's just put it out there. A lot of them do phone interviews where it's just you talking on the phone with the recruiter. Some of these companies have multiple interviews. So a lot of them do what's called a pre-screen, where your first call, y'all excuse this rubber band on my hand. I had my hair tied up earlier, and when I took it off and I just had it on my hand. But they'll do a pre-screen interview, which is where a recruiter will call you and go over the job description, go over your skills, your job history, let you know about training and stuff like that. You know, just see if you're a good fit for the job, and if you want to continue after they talk to you. And if you want to continue on, they'll set up an actual interview. Some of them will be phone interviews where it'll be just you and a recruiter talking. And then if you pass that, sometimes that'll be, they really like you, they'll hire you. That's it. But some of these companies will want you to do multiple interviews. So you'll have one with one recruiter, and then you'll have another interview with a manager, and then you may have another one with a hiring manager. Like, some companies will have you do like 2 and 3 interviews. And that's what made me nervous, because I've had jobs like that where made it through Wayfair was one of them. I had my pre-screening, did an interview with a recruiter. She's like, "Oh, you did great. I think you'd be a great fit. Go ahead and get you set up with your second interview with such and such." And I'm like, "Second interview, though? I did the Drake's, not the Drake, but the Soulja Boy's second. Like, I got another one. I barely made it with you, but like, yeah, some companies do that. So just be prepared for that too. Some companies will want you to do multiple interviews, but just relax, be cool. And some companies will have you do video interviews. Those I hate too. My current job, I had to do a video interview, and it sucks. I thought I tanked the interview, but when the recruiter called me with, sorry about that, y'all, but you know, like I always say, every time I start to talk to y'all, somebody want to call my phone. But like I was saying, yeah, my current job, I had that video interview, thought I tanked it, until the recruiter called me with a job offer. So if you're someone who isn't comfortable with being in front of a camera, I suggest starting now to, if you got a friend, family member, anybody that can practice role playing with you, not that kind of role play, but customer service role playing, I suggest doing that now, because there will be some recruiters who will have you do mock calls where they'll be the customer and you be the agent, and they'll give you a scenario, give you a few minutes to think about it, and then they want you to act it out with them. So I suggest getting some practice with that now, because there will be times where you may have to do that. So like I said, some companies will have you do just a phone interview. Some may have you do a phone and video. It just depends. So that's two things to think about as well. What else? Oh, also the type of interview. Most work from home jobs do the STAR method or STAR technique process of interviewing, which is pretty much they'll ask a lot of questions about, tell me about a time where this may have happened, or tell me about a time where this may have happened. I'm pretty sure most of you who've interviewed for a job has had those type of questions, but a lot of them can be difficult to answer or think of an answer off the top of your head. A lot of them like to ask, tell me about a time where you may have been asked to do something by a supervisor that you didn't agree with. How did you handle it? Blah, 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 that type of stuff. So just be prepared for those types of questions. A lot of them ask you why you're a good fit for this job. They may ask what you currently know about the company. A lot of them will ask your work history, what type of customer service experience you may have, what makes you want to do work from home, what makes you a good fit for work from home. A lot of them might ask, what are your motivations while at work? General questions like that. If I could remember the link, I'll link down below a website that has a lot of good STAR questions and stuff like that. I'll link that down below for you guys. And what else? There is a work from home group called Work from Home Baddies. They post a lot of work from home jobs in there. I'll leave the link to that Facebook group for those of you who have Facebook. Another good resource for work from home jobs is called Work at Home Job Queen. She posts a lot. Like, I found a lot of my previous work from home jobs through her website, so I'll definitely link her website down below. She used to have a Facebook group. I tried searching for it before making this video, but I couldn't find it. Excuse me, y'all. So I don't know if the Facebook group is still open or not, but it was called Work at Home Job Queen. But I'll definitely link her website down below, and I'll also link down below in the description box, so make sure you check that description box out as well. A lot of companies that I know are legit. Some of them I have worked for before, so I know a lot of people that be the biggest thing for them, thinking work from home is a scam, because a lot of these websites out here can be scams. A lot of them aren't legit websites. Some of them are made to look like legit websites and aren't. So I can also do that for you guys. I'm gonna link a couple of sites down below that are legit work from home jobs. I'll also list them in categories. So like, I'll do the ones that are most easiest to get on with if you don't have a lot of work from home experience or you're just starting out. So I'll probably list those companies first, and then list ones that may look for you to have a little bit more experience or whatever. But that's pretty much it. Like I said, I didn't want to make this video too long. If you guys have any other questions you may have, you can leave the questions down below in the comment section, and I'll try to answer those as best as I can. Or if there's any other video recommendations you guys may have as far as work from home, I can try doing that as well. I guess anything else you guys may want to know about work from home. I know this video was pretty basic and pretty general, because this can be a very broad topic, but this was just a starter video to give, you know, general information on work from home. I know a lot of people don't know where to start, so that's why I said I'll list those resources on legit jobs and groups on Facebook that you can join. There'll be plenty of links within those resources to supply you guys with more job information or whatever. So, oh, and also work from home baddies, that the lady that runs that group, she does also offer resume revamps and some other services like consultations, just so you guys can ask questions and stuff like that. I'm not affiliated with her at all in no type of way, so I don't get paid for none of this. It's just information that I'm giving you guys to help you guys get your foot through the door, work from home. Like I said, any basic or any other questions you may have, you can leave them down below. I'll answer them, or you can send me, I think my email is listed. You guys can email me with any questions you may have as well, if you don't want to leave your questions below. But I do hope this video helps you guys. I know I took forever getting it out, like I said, but I do hope it helps. If you guys want more information, like I said, let me know. I'll do whatever I can to help you guys. And make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Share this video. I'm pretty sure there's other people out there who would like more information when it comes to work from home. I did get some questions from some people wanting to know where I work personally. I used to tell that, but you guys, some people are weird. Like, I've been in these work from home groups and see people call other people's jobs and try to do all kind of stuff to make them lose their jobs. And like I said, I have 5 kids. Like, I need my job. So I will say it's healthcare. It is in the healthcare field, but I just don't feel comfortable putting my exact company or what I do out there. So maybe one day I will tell you guys. I don't know. We'll see. But like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope it helps. Like, comment, and subscribe. Stay tuned for more videos, because I do have more coming out for you guys. But I hope this video helps. But I hope you guys take care and start applying for these jobs. So take these resources that I give you, make them, you know, make use of them. Go over your resume. Just apply. Like, even if you feel like you may not be a good fit, apply. I've seen plenty of people apply for jobs where they felt they weren't qualified for it, but apply. Like, if you interview and they feel you are trainable and you have the skills to be able to progress in that field, apply. Like, the worst people can say is no. And who knows, you'll surprise yourself. You may even get the position. Like I said, they have to train you. So even if you don't have as much experience as you think you may need, apply, because they're going to train you. That's part of the learning process. But I hope this helps. You guys take care, subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Bye.